Hey YouTube, this is the Factor here. We're starting turn two, round two I should say. This is starting here with the Germans round two. We got the buys here. He's got a air base, a cruiser, two transports, two infantry, and two tanks. The attacks he made here, he's going in with a couple tanks into Normandy to go ahead and take that. Going with a couple tanks and a couple mechanized to take southern France. He's going up over here to Karelia, and just walking in there. He's going into I don't even know what this one's called again. Belarus, and going there with a couple infantry and a couple airplanes there. Walking into Bessarabia for a free one. Then he's making an attack on the joint British and French fleet with all of his planes here. I think that's a total of two tactical bombers, two fighters, and two strategic bombers, I believe. So he's going there with quite a bit of air power. We're going to kind of see how that plays out. My assumption would be those boats are going to be gone. Hopefully they can take a few of the Luftwaffe with them, though. Then we'll be back here once we're done doing all these rolls, and once he places his stuff and does his non-combat. All right, we're back here with Germany's end of round summary here. One thing that I noticed when making these videos was that on Italy's last turn, this French destroyer was actually over here in Sea Zone 72 when they took over Kenya. So we did roll for it. We did take a buck away from Italy for the convoy. So now that that's cleared up, we'll actually get to what Germany did here. They did take out that fleet in 97, which I thought they were going to. They didn't. I think they lost one fighter. I misspoke and thought they had two fighters there. They actually had three, so now they only have two fighters left. Those landed in Yugoslavia, where he actually put an air base. The French didn't do anything over here at all. He moved his units from 115 his sea units there, moved them right next to Germany, put all of his sea forces there, split up his infantry and tanks from Germany to West Germany when he placed them. Other than that, he moved his stuff from Paris into Belgium. The Russian front went pretty well for him. I only had one dude defending. I didn't take anything, so he didn't lose anything there. He just advanced here, moved his guys from Bulgaria up, which was kind of obvious. So he just got himself kind of set up here on the front. He has a lot of infantry, not a whole lot of tanks, but a lot of infantry coming into Russia. So I don't know exactly what his plan is. Of course he does, but he's not going to tell me. But he did then land his bombers back into, looks like Germany there. So one would imagine he's either doing a sea line fake, or he's going to try sea line. Something else too that's new. So I put that little that roundel there because I got this fancy coaster from Historical Board Gaming when I got my last stuff. So we're running out of room in the English channel, so all that stuff's there. And of course he moved his subs from over there in Canada closer over here. So we'll see what the Soviets do to respond to their push to their homeland here, and then we will come back to you once the Soviets decide what they're going to do. All right, we're back here to the Soviets' turn two. The Soviets bought 12 infantry and an artillery, obviously getting ready for the long-fought war here. Soviets didn't do much with attacking. When I mean much, they really only did two things. They went into Belarus here with most of everything from Bryansk, and a fighter from Novgorod. And just like everybody kind of thought it was going to do, they went into Iraq with the Thunder here, trying to get it done in one swap to not lose stuff needlessly here. So we'll come back with those rolls. Not a whole lot obviously going on here offensively for them, but I'll come back and see what all the guys on this end do here. If I find out I should have done something over here, because I'll be honest with you, I realized I just kind of completely forgot about that. If I do end up moving some guys around, I'll show you what happened, of course, on the next video. So again, I'll try to remember stuff a little better. I'm trying to be better and organize these videos out a lot more, so they're a lot less confusing than my previous ones have been. So bear with me. So once we do these rolls here, I'll come back and we'll show you how everything turned out, and what stuff moved where and where I placed things. All right, we're to recap here. Soviet turn two. The Belarus offensive went well. I didn't lose anything there. The Iraq offensive went the same. I took it and didn't lose anything there. A normal move or an abnormal move that I'd never seen anybody else do. I decided to try here. I actually flew those two fighters back to Egypt to help with the defense from all this stuff from Tobruk potentially coming in. So we'll see how that works out. I've never really seen Russians really give help, but we'll see. I placed 3 infantry in Ukraine, brought the Rostov infantry up to Ukraine, moved everything from Russia down into, I'll be honest with you, I don't know what this one's called, Bryansk. Kept all the dudes in Novgorod. They didn't move, they didn't do anything. I just put 3 more dudes there. Put the other 6 infantry and 1 artillery back in Russia. I decided to continue with the guns going into China. And then I moved all my units, retreated all my units back, and put one Mongolian up for the slaughter to hopefully slow down the Japanese horde. Just move the Mongolians towards Moscow the best I could. So we will see what happens here with looks like Japan's turn coming up. They have quite a bit going on here. So we'll see what the Japanese can muster and see how they do. So once their buys are done and their attack moves are done, like normal, I'll come back here and we'll go over what the Japanese do. All right, we're here with turn 2 of Japan. They bought a minor industrial complex, 3 tanks, and a tactical bomber. All right, they're doing quite a bit here. They took their fleet from the Philippines and is going into Malaya, as well as are taking the guys from French Indochina and a plane from one of those carriers and going into Shan State. The guys from Borneo went over into the Celebes, and he's going pretty heavy into China, which is kind of expected. I don't remember what came from where, but basically just advancing on all fronts there. He went into Mongolia a little bit, and then went and that one sad dude I left alone up there. He was going to go ahead and take that guy out. Went over here, took some free money with a blitz with a tank, and then took a dude down here. So that's all of his combat moves. I'll be panning out here a little bit just so you can see a vast board, the vast side of the board here, and kind of what they have here. So you can kind of take a look and see what they do for non-combat. So this is what the Japanese are going to do. We're going to go ahead and roll these out. Some look like they might be okay for me, but the majority of them look like I'm probably going to die. So we'll go and see what happens. We'll be back with the rolls. Bye. All right, we're here with a turn recap of Japan. They went in here to Malaya and actually lost. Well, I shouldn't say lost. They pulled out because I took all their ground units out, and I believe I also even took a plane or 2 as well. So that went pretty poorly for them. Shan State, I didn't take a thing out there. They did fine there. All the Chinese stuff went pretty much as expected. Chinese lost, but they took units with them, which is great. The one that didn't go well for them though is way up here, and I'm not going to even try to pronounce that place. But his fighters and attack bombers cannot hit anything. I took out his 1 ground unit and he pulled out. So it was actually a couple rounds, and it really was just bad rolling. But I was happy about it since I'm a Chinese. And here I don't even remember. I believe that guy took out 1 there, which was cool. Then of course he went and took all the free money that he had. He moved the cruiser from 7 down to 16. He finally flew some planes off of Japan and brought them over into here. Put some fighters non-combated down into here. And then he took the Celebes, obviously, but he also non-combated a destroyer with it, and then brought some ships down to the Philippines. So he's admittedly said he's looking a little thin over in China for ground units, and is not quite as happy as he thought he was going to be with what happened here. So we'll see how that shapes up here during the rest of the turns. But he had admittedly saying that he's not as confident as he thought he was going to be once done with all that, mainly because he is looking pretty slim in China, and that the fact that Chinese can just pop up anywhere. So that was probably going to be a little bit more of a meat grinder than he was hoping for. So we'll see what happens in future turns with Japan. By no means are they're looking weak. I mean, they are definitely advancing. So we'll go ahead and see what happens with the American, Chinese, and British turns here, since we're in Allied Alley here coming up. And we'll see what the Americans and Chinese can answer with. All right, we're here turn 2 with the Americans. They bought 2 transports, 1 artillery, 2 tanks, 2 infantry, 1 aircraft carrier, and 1 battleship. They did not get anything on their technology rolls, and I didn't say so, but Germany also didn't get anything on their technology rolls. So, of course, tech proving to be useless for the most part so far. Couple attacks I did here. I went in on these 2 German U-boats with my Navy and my bomber, since I have a destroyer there. So that's all I did for combat on this side of the map here. And if we scroll over to the other side where there's more American units, we went into the Sea Zone 16 here with my entire Hawaiian fleet minus the transport to take out those two ships. And then my transport in Sea Zone 10 went up and is going to hopefully liberate the Soviet Far East for the Red Army. Hopefully do some good things there. Other than that, that's all the combat I did. So when we're done rolling all those rolls, we'll come back. All right, we're here with second turn recap of America. All my attacks went well. I didn't lose anything there. If I didn't lose anything, and most of mine, I didn't lose anything there. I didn't lose anything here, and I did lose 1 infantry in the Soviet Far East, though. So I took the 2 fighters from Hawaii that went here, lined them back in Midway, and then I took the bomber that was here, landed that into the UK here, put all my buys over here. The one thing I didn't do, and I'm going to do it now, was I'm going to move that Hawaiian transport back over to the mainland over there. I just forgot to put 1 transport here from mainland over here, brought it back here to pick up those dudes from Brazil. So not a whole lot of moves that were unexpected, but the fact that Japan really didn't ding the paint on anything I had was pretty cool. So I am, like I said, I am going to move that transport back over here. I just forgot to, through doing everything else, move this transport from Hawaii up over to San Francisco there, so they could pick up some new units later. So I will get back to you once China, decides what they're going to do.